Welcome to day 20 of Mindfulness Towards Successful Living. We're going to begin where we left off yesterday, and we're going to tap into our wise mind. We're going to go to that place of being centered, our core, where we feel centered, we feel peaceful, we feel loved, we feel calm. So take a seat. Let's breathe in gently and just breathe for a few moments as I preface today's practice. There are numerous references over the ages for people that speak to an innate wisdom that all of us have the ability to tap into. On a secular stage, there was a great man, Napoleon Hill, who studied and was hired basically to interview and study all of the top people of his day and to identify common denominators of what they did that made them so extremely successful. One of the things that they found, as you continue just breathing gently, one of the things that they found was all of them had a practice of asking when they were stumped or when they had issues or when they had something that they just couldn't figure out or get over, or in maybe a business plan or in a creative idea for an invention or who knows what. But they all had this unique way of asking for the answer. Now, I associate that to universal intelligence, centered wisdom. Cognitive therapies use this practice specifically for people to identify the difference and to be operating out of what they call wise mind. So it's all very similar. And as I had said, if you prefer God, then let it be God that is going to help bring the answer to you. That would not be inconsistent at all. As Christ said specifically, he left, but the Spirit was brought so that it would bring all things to your remembrance. Now, from a neuroscience aspect and a psychological position, there are theories around what this is and how this can happen for people. Or maybe we're tapping into unconscious potential that we don't know. Spiritually, referring numerous times to ask and you shall receive. Regardless of which position you want to take, I would say that it's best to just try it for yourself. Worst case scenario, you're going to have a great experience. You're going to get deeply relaxed and you're going to continue to train your brain and your attention of focus and disciplining your imagination. And best case scenario, you might get some really cool answers. So this is a unique practice. This is something to do if you were going to get ready to maybe take some tests or have an interview, or if you were really stumped by something and you wanted to know. And the thing to think about in this space is, how many times have you had a question about something and you just kind of put it out there, but then you just let it alone? And then all of a sudden, it just came to you out of the blue, the answer. Or maybe it came to you in a dream. That's exactly what this process is. And this is a place that you can intentionally go to and request. Now, in doing so, we need to get to that place of being centered and calm. Yesterday, we used the illustration of the lake and floating to the bottom. Today, we'll use a stairwell. And let's visualize a spiral stairwell today. So as you're sitting gently, imagine you're at the top of this stairwell and you're going to start taking a step down. And with each step down that you take, your body becomes more calm, more relaxed. Your mind becomes more tuned in, more sharp and focused. And your attention is heightened. And as you step slowly down and around the spiral staircase all the way down, Each step taking you lower and lower, bringing you closer to your feeling of being whole and complete and completely centered. If you need to take a break and take a sit on one of those steps, go ahead. But visualize it in your mind. This is your process. And just know that as you descend the stairs, when you get to the bottom, you are going to be in a place where you are calm, aware, sharp, centered, feeling at peace, and inquisitive. And so see yourself now with 4 steps down left. And as you go down this last turn on the spiral staircase, stepping down onto the 3rd step, your body becomes more still and calm. To the 2nd, to the 1st, and now you're at the bottom. And you're sitting comfortably as you are right now. And your body is relaxed, your mind is relaxed, and you're in a space of a curious mind, a focused mind, a wise mind, and being inquisitive. And you're here, and you want to ask a question. And so this is where you ask the question. What might be something that you look for an answer for right now? Ask the question. What might be something that's been bothering you and you really don't know how to handle it? Ask the question. Now, it is very important not to induce thoughts right now. You're simply observing your experience of being relaxed and calm and undistracted. And you don't want to taint this experience from your conscious awareness in the moment. But literally just ask the question. Whatever the question that you need answered, you can ask it here. Some people find it helpful to address it to an individual, or to address the question to God, or address the question to somebody that they know excels in that area. And it's fictitious. It doesn't, nobody's fooling anybody. We don't think that that person's here right now. That's not the point. But some people find it helpful. So, for example, if I had a question and I was working on a technology invention, and I wanted to know how can I get over the hump on some of this design issues or potentially a marketing issue, I may ask Steve Jobs. In my mind, I'm just going to create it that I'm sitting there and I'm asking him this question. And then I'm just going to be still and listen. I'm not insinuating that I think you can talk to people that are not here any longer. I'm not insinuating that at all. But what I am suggesting is if it makes it easier for you to designate and design the question and direct it towards an individual that you know has expertise, or towards God, or towards universal intelligence, then address the question in that way. And sit and be still in it and listen. Don't create an idea. Don't create the thing yourself. Because you will know the difference when it hits you. Just like it would if you were in a dream. Or just like it does when you're pondering something and then you just let it go. And 3 days later it just hits you like a ton of bricks and you just know. That's what this process instigates. So you want to treat the question as though it's your mantra in today's practice. So as you're sitting calm, you're in your centered place, you're still, you're aware of being in the moment, and just repeat the question. And you can even give it a very positive thank you in advance. But repeat the question as though it was the mantra which we learned about a couple of lessons ago. And the repetition of that repeating helps direct your focus and discipline your mind. And you're asking the question without need to try to have the answer yourself. Let's just sit in this space with you, just truly inquiring. I need an answer here. I really need to know. I really want to know what to do in this situation. I really need to know how to handle this with so-and-so. I really need to figure out how to tweak this so that it actually works, whatever the thing might be. And ask with the intent and the forethought that you will hear an answer. Continue to just sit in this space quietly. Repeat the question as you need to. If you find yourself distracted in other thought, bring your focus back to being centered, to being calm, and to your intention of asking for an answer, and then re-ask the question. And in the last minute, let's bring our focus back to our breath. Let's go ahead and ascend that spiral staircase. Start to slowly step up each step, winding around and getting back to where we are right now. Let's take one more minute of just focusing in on our breath and expressing gratitude ahead of time and thankfulness for the wisdom and the knowledge that we've gained and that we're going to gain from this practice and from this process. Thank you for your practice again. You're doing so well. And regardless of which position you took in that space of either asking God and the Holy Spirit or asking universal intelligence, or you visualized asking an individual, regardless of what position you take, trying it for yourself is the best experience, and allowing that experience to be exactly what it was for you today is what it is. And I am quite certain that you may be surprised. If you didn't get an answer already, you may be surprised. I hope so. We'll see you here again tomorrow for day 21, Mindfulness Towards Successful Living.